The automotive world has seen many strange feuds over the years, but very few have captured the internet quite like the growing conflict between Ferrari and YouTuber Mat Armstrong. What started as another ambitious rebuilding project slowly turned into a debate about ownership, creativity, and how much control a car company should have once someone buys one of their vehicles. Mat Armstrong is not a traditional mechanic or a quiet collector who keeps expensive cars hidden inside climate-controlled garages. He built his reputation on YouTube by buying wrecked supercars, repairing them in ways many people thought were impossible, and documenting every mistake, problem, and breakthrough along the way. His videos became popular because viewers could watch someone take a destroyed car and slowly bring it back to life piece by piece. That process made people feel connected to the project. So when Mat revealed that he had bought a damaged Ferrari 296 GTB and planned to rebuild it, fans immediately became excited. Ferrari, however, is not like most car companies. The Italian brand is famous for protecting its image more aggressively than almost any other manufacturer in the world. Ferrari carefully controls how its cars are marketed, modified, and represented in public. Over the years, the company has reportedly clashed with celebrities, musicians, influencers, and owners who they believe damaged the Ferrari brand image. Because of that history, many people already expected tension the moment Mat Armstrong announced his rebuild project. What nobody expected was how quickly the situation would grow into a much bigger internet controversy. As more details appeared online, viewers started asking serious questions. Should Ferrari have the right to control what an owner does with a car after it has been purchased? Or should creators like Mat Armstrong have complete freedom to rebuild and modify vehicles however they want? That question became the center of the entire debate. To understand why this story became so popular online, it is important to understand who Mat Armstrong is and why his audience connects with him so strongly. Long before he became known for rebuilding supercars, Mat was deeply involved in BMX riding and stunt content on YouTube. He built his early audience by performing risky tricks, filming athletic challenges, and creating high-energy content that appealed to younger viewers. That background shaped the personality people now recognize in his car videos. Even when he moved away from BMX content, the same risk-taking attitude stayed with him. Instead of simply buying clean sports cars and reviewing them like many automotive creators do, Mat focused on vehicles most people would avoid completely. He bought wrecked Lamborghinis, damaged Audis, flooded McLarens, and crashed Porsches. In many cases, professional repair shops would have considered those cars too expensive or too difficult to fix properly. That challenge became part of the entertainment. Viewers enjoyed watching him struggle through complicated repairs while learning alongside him. Unlike traditional television mechanics who always appear calm and experienced, Mat often leaves mistakes inside his videos. He shows parts arriving late, electrical systems failing, engines refusing to start, and repair plans going wrong. That honesty helped build trust with his audience because people could see the real process rather than a polished final result. Another important part of his success is storytelling. Each rebuild becomes its own journey with tension, setbacks, and eventual payoff. Viewers become emotionally invested in seeing whether the car will finally drive again. That formula helped Mat grow into one of the biggest automotive creators on YouTube. But it also brought criticism. Some car enthusiasts believe he sometimes takes shortcuts or modifies vehicles in ways that ignore the original engineering of the brand. Purists especially dislike when factory parts are replaced with cheaper alternatives or when repairs are done differently from official manufacturer standards. Those criticisms became even louder once Ferrari entered the picture, because Ferrari owners and fans are often extremely protective of the brand's identity and history. Ferrari has spent decades building one of the most powerful luxury images in the automotive industry, and protecting that image is something the company takes very seriously. Unlike many manufacturers that focus mostly on selling as many cars as possible, Ferrari has always operated differently. The company limits production numbers, carefully chooses which customers receive certain models, and maintains an exclusive reputation that makes owning a Ferrari feel special. That exclusivity is a major reason why Ferrari vehicles often hold their value so well over time. But maintaining that image also means Ferrari closely watches how its cars appear in public. Over the years, several celebrities and influencers have reportedly faced problems with Ferrari after heavily modifying their vehicles or using the brand in ways Ferrari disliked. Some stories involved unusual paint jobs, controversial social media posts, or extreme customizations that Ferrari believed damaged its image. Because of that history, many automotive fans immediately suspected Ferrari would not be happy with Mat Armstrong's rebuild project. From Ferrari's perspective, a YouTuber rebuilding a heavily damaged Ferrari in a home garage, while millions of people watch online, could create risks for the brand. If mistakes happen during repairs, viewers might incorrectly blame Ferrari engineering rather than the rebuild itself. Ferrari also wants its cars repaired using official methods and approved parts whenever possible. Luxury manufacturers often argue that improper repairs could create safety concerns or harm the reputation of the vehicle. However, critics believe Ferrari sometimes pushes that control too far. Many people argue that once someone legally purchases a car, they should have complete freedom to repair, modify, or rebuild it however they choose. That belief has become even more important in recent years because of larger discussions around ownership rights and the right to repair movement. Supporters of Mat Armstrong see him as someone challenging the idea that giant corporations should decide what owners can and cannot do with products they paid for. As the online discussion grew larger, the conflict stopped being just about one Ferrari 296 GTB. Instead, it became part of a much bigger debate about creativity, ownership, and corporate control in the modern automotive world. The Ferrari 296 GTB itself also played a huge role in making the story so dramatic because it is not an ordinary sports car. The 296 GTB represents Ferrari's move into a new generation of hybrid performance vehicles. It combines a twin-turbocharged V6 engine with electric motor technology to produce massive power while still meeting modern efficiency standards. For Ferrari, the car represents advanced engineering, innovation, and the future direction of the brand. That makes the idea of rebuilding a crashed one even more sensitive. Hybrid supercars are extremely complicated machines filled with advanced electronics, sensors, and safety systems that require specialized knowledge to repair correctly. Even experienced mechanics can struggle working on them without factory support. When Mat Armstrong bought the damaged Ferrari 296, many viewers were immediately curious whether he could actually complete the rebuild successfully. Some fans saw it as his biggest challenge yet, while critics believed the project was too difficult and risky. Early videos about the car quickly attracted huge attention online because people wanted to see how far he could push himself. However, things reportedly became more complicated once Ferrari became aware of the project. Rumors and online discussions suggested there were concerns involving access to technical support, replacement parts, and software systems required to fully restore the vehicle. Modern supercars depend heavily on electronic systems that often require manufacturer authorization or official diagnostic tools to function correctly. Without those systems, certain features may not work properly even if the physical repairs are completed. That situation frustrated many viewers because it created the impression that manufacturers could limit independent repairs through technology rather than direct ownership restrictions. The internet quickly divided into two sides. One side believed Ferrari had every right to protect its engineering standards and ensure repairs were done safely. The other side argued that preventing independent rebuilds goes against the spirit of ownership and creativity that made car culture popular in the first place. As more people discussed the situation online, the story grew larger than a normal rebuild series and started feeling like a battle between traditional automotive companies and modern internet creators. One reason the Ferrari conflict attracted so much attention is because Mat Armstrong's entire brand is built around proving that impossible rebuilds can still succeed. His audience enjoys seeing expensive vehicles rescued from situations where most people would give up completely. That emotional payoff is a huge part of why his videos perform so well on YouTube. Every rebuild follows a similar emotional pattern. First, viewers see a badly damaged car that appears beyond saving. Then Matt slowly takes it apart, diagnoses problems, orders replacement parts, and struggles through repairs while facing constant setbacks. Finally, if everything works, the audience gets a satisfying moment where the car starts again and returns to the road. That storytelling style turns mechanical work into entertainment. But Ferrari changes the formula because the company represents more than just another supercar manufacturer. Ferrari has a history, prestige, and emotional reputation that makes people react strongly whenever the brand becomes involved in controversy. For many fans, Ferrari symbolizes perfection and exclusivity. Seeing a YouTuber rebuild one in a non-traditional way almost feels rebellious. That rebellious feeling helped the video spread across social media platforms because viewers enjoy stories where an independent creator challenges a powerful company. At the same time, critics argue that some fans were unfairly turning Ferrari into a villain without fully understanding the technical and legal issues involved. Luxury car companies invest enormous amounts of money developing advanced performance systems, and they naturally want repairs handled correctly. If a rebuilt car later experiences problems, it could still affect public perception of the brand. There is also the issue of safety. Modern hybrid supercars use high-voltage systems that can become dangerous if handled incorrectly. Ferrari supporters argue that strict repair standards exist for a reason. However, Matt supporters responded by saying experienced independent mechanics should not be locked out of repairing vehicles simply because manufacturers want tighter control over their products. That argument connected with broader frustrations many consumers already have with modern technology companies. People increasingly worry that products are becoming harder to repair independently because companies control software access, diagnostic tools, and replacement parts. In that sense, the Ferrari controversy reflected a much larger issue that goes far beyond just one damaged supercar. Another major reason this story exploded online is because internet audiences today are highly attracted to creator versus corporation narratives. Social media often turns these situations into emotional battles where viewers choose sides very quickly. In the case of Mat Armstrong and Ferrari, many people immediately viewed Mat as the underdog. He appeared to be one independent creator trying to complete a rebuild project while facing obstacles connected to one of the most famous luxury brands in the world. That framing naturally creates sympathy. YouTube audiences especially enjoy watching creators overcome problems because it makes the final success feel more rewarding. Every delay, missing part, technical issue, or manufacturer restriction adds more tension to the story. From a content perspective, the controversy actually increased public interest in the rebuild. Videos discussing the Ferrari situation gained huge numbers of views because people wanted updates on whether Matt would eventually finish the car successfully. Other automotive channels also started covering the drama, which pushed the story even further across the internet. Some viewers compared the situation to previous automotive controversies involving repair rights and manufacturer restrictions. Others connected it to earlier disputes involving Bugatti and internet creators, which is why many videos and headlines describe the Ferrari conflict as even bigger or uglier than past automotive feuds. However, there is also an important business side to all this attention. Drama creates engagement online. Strong opinions generate comments, debates, reaction videos, and social media discussions. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, the controversy helped keep the Ferrari rebuild constantly trending inside automotive communities. That does not necessarily mean the conflict was fake or exaggerated, but online platforms naturally reward emotional stories that divide opinion. Some viewers became fully convinced Ferrari was acting unfairly, while others believe creators were oversimplifying the situation for entertainment purposes. The truth likely sits somewhere in the middle. Ferrari wants to protect its brand, engineering standards, and customer experience. Meanwhile, creators like Mat Armstrong want freedom to experiment, repair, and create engaging content without heavy restrictions. Those two goals can easily clash, especially when millions of viewers are watching every development online and forming opinions before all details are publicly available as the debate continued. The Ferrari versus Mat Armstrong story also highlighted how much the automotive world has changed because of YouTube and social media. Years ago, car culture was controlled mostly by manufacturers, dealerships, racing organizations, and traditional automotive media. Today, independent creators have enormous influence. A single YouTube video can shape public opinion about a car brand faster than many professional advertising campaigns. Creators build personal relationships with viewers, which often makes audiences trust them more than official corporate messaging. That shift creates new challenges for luxury brands like Ferrari because they can no longer completely control how their vehicles are presented online. Someone like Mat Armstrong can purchase a wrecked Ferrari, document every repair step to millions of people, and create a public narrative entirely outside Ferrari's control. For a company that values exclusivity and image management so strongly, that can become uncomfortable very quickly. At the same time, creators also face pressure from audiences who constantly expect bigger projects, more drama, and more ambitious rebuilds. The competition for attention on YouTube is intense, especially in the automotive category. That pressure encourages creators to take larger risks and push boundaries further than before. In many ways, the Ferrari 296 rebuild became the perfect example of modern internet car culture colliding with traditional automotive prestige. One side values openness, experimentation, entertainment, and public storytelling. The other side values exclusivity, careful brand management, and strict engineering standards. Neither perspective is completely wrong, which is why the debate became so heated online. Many viewers supported Mat Armstrong because they admired his creativity and determination. Others respected Ferrari's desire to protect the quality and safety of its products. Regardless of which side people agreed with, almost everyone recognized that the situation represented something bigger than a single damaged vehicle. It reflected a changing relationship between companies, creators, and consumers in the digital age, where control over public reception is becoming harder for corporations to maintain. In the end, the Ferrari versus Mat Armstrong controversy became one of the most talked about automotive stories on YouTube because it combined everything internet audiences enjoy watching: expensive cars, risk, drama, corporate tension, technical challenges, and a creator determined to prove doubters wrong. The story worked so well online because it was not simply about fixing a damaged Ferrari. It became a symbol of larger issues involving ownership rights, independent repairs, and how much control companies should have after selling a product. For Mat Armstrong, the rebuild represented another opportunity to show viewers that difficult projects can still succeed with enough effort, patience, and creativity.